Liars and scammers will support other liars and scammers. This video here about language lords claim fluent in French in 30 days. Then this Evildea clown here will say that something nice about it. Just listen here, this one clown here.
Okay, overall, I agree with everything in this video. Obviously, the title's a tiny bit clickbaity, but it's YouTube. What can you do?
It's a little bit clickbaity. A little bit clickbaity to say that he become fluent in 30 days in French. And the same with the other videos about being fluent in Spanish in few days. Or that's a little bit clickbaity. It's a scam, lie, scam. Fucking scammer shit, humans.
His methodologies are on point, 100%.
That version is a little bit more difficult if you're looking for something that's a bit more advanced.
Okay, overall, I agree with everything in this video. Obviously, the title's a tiny bit clickbaity, but it's YouTube. What can you do? His methodologies are on point, 100%. I pretty much used a variation of it. I highly recommend it. You will get fluent. The only catch I would say is make sure you're at a stage where you can recognize your own errors within the language. I did upload my videos online. You don't have to do that, although there is one massive benefit to that. As soon as you make a mistake, all the grammar Nazis are going to attack you, and you can just use them to learn. It's actually a great methodology of using those people's vitriol and hatred against you for your own benefit. But yeah, I recommend it 100%.
Yeah, the problem is the grammar, really. When you pretend that you can become fluent in a language in 30 days, then the problem is grammar or just some bullshit idiots, man.
Like 10 out of 10, great video. This guy obviously knows what he's on about. Very good. Guy, errors within the language. What can you do? His methodologies are on point, 100%. I pretty much used a variation of it. I highly recommend it. You will get fluent. The only catch I would say is make sure you're at a stage where you can recognize your own errors within the language. I did upload my videos online. You don't have to do that, although there is one massive benefit to that. As soon as you make a mistake, all the grammar Nazis are going to attack you.
Grammar Nazis, you fucking scammer people supporting scammers, man. Solid method, perfect analysis. Solid method. Fooling people and lying to people and scamming people is solid methods.
What's up, grinders? I've been given a video to review by one of my subs. It's called This One Exercise Made Me Fluent in French in 30 Days. Now, before I get into it, you may be hearing some background noise because I'm in a very remote village in China and there seems to be some type of festival going on. And I'm actually going to go check it out right after this video. So
in China, making YouTube videos to scam people while staying in China. And you have something here about learning Esperanto. Like, what the fuck will you use this Esperanto nonsense to? Just some bullshit. The language simp doesn't like Esperanto. And here you have something about hyperpolyglots. Bold claims 3 months to fluency. Hyperpolyglots, bold claims 3 months to fluency. He was doing a Japanese challenge to learn in 3 months and apparently he dropped it. You can check the old videos in his channel. Maybe you can pressure him back into it. Just bullshit, man. What's the proof, concrete evidence that he really learned a language in 3 months other than his word email? Limao, people are so gullible these days. Just some bullshit, man. There are tons of videos of him saying he learned a language in 3 months or less. He's a fraud, get over it. On top of that, he claimed that it's possible to memorize more than 500 words a day. 500 words a day. You say, sure you can, if your head is 3 feet tall and blah blah blah. Yeah, I like some of his content, but I'm not on board with the wide claims. Yeah, because you support the scammers. And I've seen this person here, he support different scammers. You also have something about language learning or things like that. Norwegian Duolingo, German Duolingo, Italian, study French. You have a lot of things about different languages, because he's also full of bullshit and a liar, and he's supporting the other liars. I've seen him commenting on other people's videos, I think maybe on Metatron's videos and some other scammers' videos. That's why he's defending this. I would like to know what you mean by unblocked. He really is a fake. A lot of the fakes say 3 months or less to learn a language to entice the gullible to buy their courses. It's marketing tactic they use. Let's say you take a 200 book called Learn French in 30 days and you read it in 30 days. Now you know how French works and you learned some French, but you still can't understand 10% of spoken French. Then you watch 3 hours of French movies or series per day for 1 month. Now you understand 30 to 40% of French and you can read 60% of it. Then you say you meet a French speaker and you can barely speak few sentences in French. Now in the third month you enroll in an intensive French course, 16 3-hour lessons in group in just 1 month. The same content usually studied in 4 months, but in just 1 month. Finally, after 3 months, you can read some French, blah blah. If not literature, at least the news. You can understand 70 to 80% of what Macron says, but then you hear an old interview by Serge Gainsbourg and only understand 10% of what he says. You can now speak some French sentences. What the fuck, man? You're going to write a whole book here? Fucking idiot, man. In other words, you're not fluent, but you can now make yourself understood as well. Understand enough French to enjoy contents in French. Bullshit, you're just some fucking liars supporting liars and scammers. This guy is some fucking idiot supporting all the scammers. I've seen him supporting different scammers. Just some fucking scammer supporter. Scammer supporter, and he have his own channel also where he want to pretend that he's learning many languages. I had my wife check over his Chinese and she said there was no errors. Also, it was rather formal. I totally forgot about Taiwan and haven't used it in years. I'm now gonna go check it once out again. Blah blah. Just some bullshit, man.
So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to review a video from Mikel, the Hyperpolyglot. Kind of annoys me the most about in 3 months. He doesn't say you can learn this language in 3 months based on these prerequisites. It's any language in 3 months. But then the claims get even more bold, and we'll get into that as we go through this video. So I'm going to watch this review video, provide my feedback, and give you guys a realistic estimate of what I think is actually possible.
These 7 exercises are all you need to do to learn a language in 3 months. If you do them daily for 90 days, you can learn any language, understand it, and speak it fluently in 3 months or less.
Okay, so we've heard the claim. You can learn any language, speak it fluently within 3 months or less. So it's not just 3 months, it's 3 months or less. This is quite the claim. So what is fluent? Well, most normal people on the street, if you ask them what fluent is, they'll be like, and they'll give you a definition that's basically a native speaker. But for people in the language community, what is fluent? Well, generally it's someone who can speak about pretty much everyday topics. People on the street, if you ask them what fluent is, they'll be like, and they'll give you a definition that's basically a native speaker. But for people in the language community, what is fluent? Well, generally it's someone who can speak about pretty much everyday topics without any like stuttering issues, stuff like that, but not necessarily native speaker. So his claim is that you can reach at least a very high level within 3 months or less. So let's go through this video.
Why these specific exercises? Well, there are 2 main principles you need to follow if you want to learn something fast. You need to generate as many repetitions as possible, and you need to make as many mistakes as possible with immediate feedback.
Okay, so do as many repetitions as possible. I call you guys literally the grinders because, well, what are we doing over here? We're doing a ton of repetitions, and then we're going and using our language. So it's a good start, but this is pretty standard practice so far.
There are specific ways to do this efficiently in language learning, depending on the specific skill you're trying to improve at. Alright, let's look at the exercises one by one. Number 1, listening while reading with English translation. This is the first thing you should do when you start learning a new language. This exercise is great to learn grammar and vocabulary. Also improves your listening comprehension and your pronunciation. But you're limited by the speed of the audio file, so do it at 1.5 or double speed if possible. Remember that you need to go fast to get as many repetitions as possible. Number 2, listening.
Okay, I'm just going to stop this here for a second. So his first proposal is you've got to do just a ton of reading in the language, and then you need to have English subtitles below that. I'm just going to pick up the fact that this says any language in 3 months. Obviously, the first thing you need to do is learn the script of the language. Now, this is obviously more focused then towards Latin-based languages, because like with Chinese, you're not going to just open up Chinese and read it. It just doesn't work like that. Like, you're just going to look at it, and it's going to look like chicken scratches on the dirt, man. That's pretty much it. And a lot of languages already don't have the Latin-based script. And even those that do use the Latin-based script, they're pronounced totally different to what you would expect. So we've completely skipped past that page, and he's saying here you're just going to read it with the English subtitles. Now, maybe I missed it. Let me just double check that. Maybe he said you're just listening to it. Let me just double check.
Okay, I moved the video forward because in the start he would say a lot of things like, oh, this is not real, this is not possible, and things like that. And then it sounds like he don't like what he's doing. But then listen now what he will say now. This is proof that he's full of bullshit, this guy also. Listen here now.
He proposed. Now, this annoys me because, like, he says he's a hyperpolyglot and he speaks 10 languages. I'm going to take him at his word that he speaks 10 languages, okay? Maybe he does.
He say, would you take his words? Maybe he speak 10 languages. Maybe he does. What maybe he does? What kind of bullshit is that? He cannot speak 10 languages.
But he didn't use this solution to learn 10 languages.
You say maybe he does speak the 10 languages, but he did not use this solution. Then he will say something about maybe he learned them for a longer time since he was young. No, he did not learn 10 languages since he was young, and he did not learn for a longer time, and he cannot speak 10 languages. Just bullshit. I need to tell you something important now. Try to concentrate. I've told this before. The problem is not like those people from the language learning scam community. The problem is not that Wouter Corduina or this Mikel Hyperpolyglot or some of the other polyglot YouTubers or Xiaoma pretend to speak many languages, and they pretend that they can learn languages very fast, or Benny Lewis say you can learn a language in 3 months. It's not their problem. The problem is that people now, they're starting to see that this is not real. And when people will see that this is not real, then maybe they will also not believe in the other polyglot YouTubers. To scammers, they still want to lie to people and fool people and scam people, but they want to do it in a smarter way that they would do it same like Luca Lampriello or Steve Kaufman or some of the other polyglot that say that, oh, they spent 1 year or 2 years or longer time for each language. Even it's not true. They did not learn a new language every 1 year or 2 years, but they want it that way so people will believe it. Like they want to make videos saying that they learned a language in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. Then after 10 years or 20 years, they will pretend to be able to speak 10 languages or more. They want to do it more slow, but it's not because they're learning the languages more slow or because they really learn all those languages and become fluent in those languages. It's because if they say they learn a language every 1 or 2 years, then there's a bigger chance that people will believe them. That's why they will criticize the one who say that they learn a language very fast, but they will still say maybe they're real and they will still say nice things about them. But they're afraid that people will not believe in any one of the polyglot YouTubers, and all of them are fake and scammers, and they cannot speak 7, 8, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 languages. But they want to make it look like if they learn it for longer time, or they'll pretend that they learn the languages for many years, so people will believe in them and think that it's real, even it's not real. They're just some fucking liars and scammers, all of them. Listen now.
This annoys me because, like, he says he's a hyperpolyglot and he speaks 10 languages. I'm going to take him at his word that he speaks 10 languages, okay? Maybe he does. But he didn't use this solution to learn 10 languages. Like, it just doesn't math. And if he did use this solution to learn 10 languages, he didn't do them in 3 months. And if we look at it realistically, let's say he speaks 10 languages. Based on this solution, let's do the math. 3, 6, 9, 12, that's 4 languages a year. 8 languages in 2 years. If he speaks 10, he's been doing his own system now for just over 2 years. I don't think so. I get the feeling that this guy's probably started learning languages since he was a kid, and he's learned them up to this point, and he's dedicated insane amount of hours learning and using languages, probably professionally working with them in different environments.
Bullshit, man. You want to say, oh, maybe he can really speak 10 languages, but he learned them since he was young, and he just learned them for a longer time. Just bullshit, man. He cannot speak 10 languages.
Just be honest, okay? There's respect to you. You speak 10 languages. That is a massive feat. Why are you trying to undersell it?
Yeah, fucking idiot, man. He don't speak 10 languages and you're trying to defend him. You want to defend him and say, maybe he can speak the 10 languages, but he learned them over longer time. And then you say massive respect for him that he can speak 10 languages. What massive respect? Respect to the fucking scammer, liar, fraud. Because you are working with two scammers.
Just be honest, okay? There's respect to you. You speak 10 languages. That is a massive feat. Why are you trying to undersell it by saying you can do it in 3 months? Dude, you invested an insane amount of hours, okay? Don't lie to us. We're not stupid. You spent an insane amount of hours, and you know what? That just proves you're a highly capable individual. But now you're trying to sell that to us, that you can do it in 3 months. You can't do it in 3 months. The only way you could feasibly, somehow, possibly do this in 3 months is in a very specific case. One, you're learning a language which is closely related to a bunch of other languages you already speak, okay? You probably live within the environment where that language is used.
Yeah, bullshit with you. That is not possible. You're full of bullshit. You cannot do that. You cannot learn a language in 3 months, no matter what you say, you fucking idiot. And he's defending the other scammer by saying that maybe he can speak 10 languages, but he learned them over longer time. And this way he wants to say that maybe it's real, he can speak 10 languages, but he just learned them over longer time.
The language uses a script you already know, and it has sounds that you already know how to pronounce. And then, after 3 months, you could probably get to super low conversational, okay? You're not going to get the fluent in any language in 3 months. Just, if anyone wants to think about this logically, any language, Chinese, Okay, well, let's scrap the entire script and we're just going to use pinyin. We're not going to bother with characters at all.
He will say some things that is real, like he will say some things that is real, that you cannot learn a language in 3 months, but same time he will lie and say this fake polyglot, hyper polyglot, can really speak 10 plus languages. This one, natural language learning. This guy, Mikel Hyperpolyglot scammer, you say maybe it's real, he can speak 10 languages, but he learned them over longer time. Just bullshit.
I think that's going to make it harder in some respects because at least the characters provide a hint of what each of these words mean. At first they're a massive pain in the ass, but later on they become way... There is no way that this works. And if it does work, and he does actually learn languages in 3 months, respect to him. He's in the 1% of the 1%. I can't do that, and I doubt the majority...
Respect to him, he's 1% of the 1%. Bullshit, man.
Of the people watching this video can. Even if you follow that... Respect to him. He's in the 1% of the 1%. I can't do that, and there is no way that this works. And if it does work, and he does actually learn languages in 3 months, respect to him. He's in the 1% of the 1%. I can't do that, and I doubt the majority of the people watching this video can. Even if you follow that system. Clearly, this guy's brain is way bigger than mine.
His brain is way bigger than yours, and he's one of the special people, 1% who can do it. You are bullshit, you're supporting a scammer. You are supporting a scammer, and you're part of this language learning scam community.
That's the end of the video. I'll see you all in the next video. And
Yeah, fucking liar, man. Fucking liar, man. And he also say something good about these language lords. Just some fucking liar, man. I'm a game developer, actor, and lover of languages. I speak English, Esperanto, Toki, Pona, and Mandarin Chinese. Yeah, bullshit with you. More info, Australia. You can speak one language, English, and maybe you have practiced a little beginner stuff in this Esperanto and Tiki, Pona, Bona shit nonsense, and this Mandarin Chinese. You're full of bullshit, and you support the other scammers. I have a lot of videos about learning Esperanto and Chinese and other nonsense. That's some bullshit guy, man. I did not watch what is on all his channel, but he's full of bullshit. He's full of bullshit. And those YouTubers now, they're trying to pretend that they're... I told you they're doing this now as something new. Like, they'll try to make it look like they are exposing the fake polyglots, or that they'll say something bad about them, but in reality they will defend them. He will say like this, oh, it's not possible to be fluent in 30 days, but still he learned something, and blah blah, like bullshit nonsense. And same with this one. He will say, oh, you cannot become fluent in 3 months in every language, maybe some languages. And then he will say like that this guy, maybe he's just very talented. Maybe he's very talented and he could do it. Or maybe he can speak 10 languages, but he learned it over longer time. No, he's not very special and talented. He cannot learn a language in 3 months. And also he did not learn 10 languages over longer time. He's a liar and a fraud and a scammer. And I've already showed him on my channel. I've showed video of this fucking scammer shit hole. And he changed his YouTube channel name, this clown here. This scammer here changed his YouTube channel name so people not find his video that I made about him. This fucking scammer shit. And this Evildea, he's supporting the scammers, pretending that he is exposing them. Now the new thing is that they will make it look like they're exposing the scammers, but in reality they will say something nice about them. Same like Metatrans Academy and Language Jones. They'll pretend that they're exposing the fake polyglot YouTubers, but same time they'll say some of them are real. And also this channel that I showed you, I don't know if it will be before this video or after this video, a channel that called himself Joe Zabinski. This Joe Sapinski also pretend that he want to expose the polyglot YouTubers, but in reality he will defend them and say that they are legit and real like that. Just some fucking shit humans. They'll make some channels now, this language learning scam community. This language learning scam community on YouTube, now they'll make some channels pretending that they are exposing the fake polyglot YouTubers. Then they'll make some videos and saying, oh, let's see if what they say is real or not. But same time, they'll actually defend them and say, oh, maybe they can actually speak those languages, even if they're not 100% fluent, or maybe they have learned those languages over a longer time and things like that. Just so people will believe that they're still real. They're just scammers, all of them. It's a big scam community, and this is the new saying, that they will pretend that they're exposing them, but in reality they will defend them. Some fucking scammer humans. Go find this video here that I made 3 years ago about this scammer, this Mikel Hyperpolyglot. He changed his YouTube channel name, so now I decided also to change the thumbnail to put the correct name of his new channel name, and also in the title here. I uploaded this video here 3 years ago about this scammer here, this Mikel Hyperpolyglot. You can go and find it on my channel, or you can search in YouTube, search Mikel Hyperpolyglot. He's a fake polyglot and a scammer, or just search Mikel Hyperpolyglot scammer. Try to find it on my channel, or search it on YouTube, Mikel Hyperpolyglot scammer. So that's it. Take care. See you. Goodbye. And remember to subscribe to my channel to show some support to me for telling you the truth, and like the video. See you. Take care.